Kelly is now there by herself.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
She got very offended when I left. I left, and I think she resented that. I mean, that's how I feel about it, and I'm sorry, because I wasn't trying to dive from her, but I was a little tired, you know?
America's morning sweetheart isn't so sweet behind the scenes, at least not according to everyone who's worked with her. Kelly Ripa has spent decades charming daytime TV audiences, but not all of her co-hosts and celebrity guests walked away feeling the love. Behind the bright smiles lie bitter feuds, simmering tensions, and grudges that never quite faded. Some stars openly can't stand Ripa, and their reasons might surprise you. Take Regis Philbin. His legacy in television is iconic. The hardest working man in show business, a Bronx-born legend who logged more hours on American TV than anyone in history, even earning a Guinness World Record for it. One of the most memorable chapters of his career was Live with Regis and Kelly, where he and Kelly Ripa shared the spotlight for a decade. Their partnership launched in 2001, but what happened behind the cameras was far more complicated than the cheerful banter viewers saw each morning. When Ripa succeeded Kathie Lee Gifford, Regis passed her the torch to a show he had led since 1983, back when it was still called The Morning Show. On camera, the chemistry between Regis and Ripa clicked instantly. Their playful banter, light commentary, and generational contrast made them a beloved duo to viewers across the country, but behind the scenes, it was a different story. Ripa later revealed to the New York Times that Philbin enforced a strict, absolutely no talking off-camera rule. His logic was simple: saving all their conversations for the live broadcast kept the show spontaneous. And while that superstition may have made great television, it also created an undeniable distance between them once the cameras stopped rolling. When Regis retired in 2011 at age 80, most assumed it was a natural closing chapter to a legendary career. But he later admitted his departure left friction between him and Ripa. Speaking to Insider, he said, "I think Ripa got angry when I left, though he clarified he wasn't abandoning her, just stepping away from the relentless pace of daily live TV. I wasn't trying to desert her," he explained in another interview with host Debbie Matenopoulos. His comments hinted at an uncomfortable truth. Despite spending years together on air, their personal relationship never truly clicked. That distance was even more noticeable when compared to Regis's relationship with his previous co-host, Kathie Lee Gifford. The two shared 15 years together on the show, from 1985 to 2000, and their friendship continued long after the cameras stopped rolling. As late as 2019, Regis fondly reminisced on today. "Kathie Lee, you want to know the best part of my life? My TV life was the 15 years I spent with you. We stayed friends throughout the entire game, and it was a lot of fun." Gifford later confirmed in 2020 that the two remained close and talked regularly up until his passing. By contrast, the emotional distance between Regis and Ripa became more apparent after his exit. Though they shared the stage at 7 Lincoln Square for a decade, their bond never seemed to extend beyond the studio lights. For Regis, the on-air magic he carefully protected helped create unforgettable television. For Ripa, that same magic may have felt one-sided, leaving behind an estranged partnership that stood in stark contrast to his warm, enduring friendship with Gifford. Industry insiders speculated that Megyn Kelly was aiming directly for Ripa's audience, though the outcome didn't fall in her favor. The New York Times reported that Nielsen ratings from the first 10 weeks showed Live not only outperforming Megyn Kelly Today overall, but dominating the key 25 to 54 demographic prize by advertisers, a gap large enough to signal NBC's gamble was failing. Critics questioned the network's strategy, with one industry source telling Page Six that hiring Kelly was both a misstep and a misuse of her strengths, claiming NBC had wasted her talent and its money. By 2018, just a year into what was meant to be a 3-year contract, Megyn Kelly Today was canceled, and tabloids eagerly pushed rumors of a feud between Kelly and Ripa. In Touch Weekly even ran dramatic covers about a nasty battle, though Gossip Cop later clarified the stories were exaggerated. Ripa dismissed the idea of rivalry, telling the New York Times in 2017 that Live never compared itself to other shows because we are the only ones who do what we do. Meanwhile, Rosie O'Donnell, never one to hold back, has repeatedly made her dislike of Ripa clear, calling her mean in the book Ladies Who Punch and claiming Ripa avoids her in public. Their long-running tension stems from a 2006 episode of Live in which guest co-host Clay Aiken placed his hand over Ripa's mouth, prompting her to say, "That's a no-no. I don't know where that hand has been, honey." O'Donnell slammed the remark on The View as coded and homophobic, arguing Ripa would have reacted differently to a straight man, while Ripa insisted her objection was to the physical intrusion, not Aiken's identity. She later described the gesture as hostile and disrespectful, and although O'Donnell privately apologized in 2019 for resurfacing the incident in her book, insiders claimed she still clung to her own version of events, ensuring the bad blood never fully disappeared. Rosie O'Donnell even once tweeted, "Kelly Ripa, the girl can hold a grudge," making it clear their frost wasn't thawing anytime soon. Michael Strahan experienced his own strange chapter with Ripa after joining Live with Kelly and Michael in 2012, where his easygoing charm perfectly complemented her sharp wit and helped the duo win the 2016 Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Entertainment Talk Show Host. But behind the camera, tension brewed, and when Strahan abruptly announced in April 2016 that he was leaving for Good Morning America, rumors exploded. TMZ alleged Ripa had bullied him off camera, while other sources brushed it off as a joke. Ripa's decision to skip several days of work after the announcement intensified talk of betrayal. Strahan later told People that they had once been friends, but something shifted, and in a 2020 interview with the New York Times, he revealed attempts to establish regular meetings with Ripa were rejected when she told him she didn't need to meet, a moment that cemented their disconnect. The two haven't spoken since. Strahan admitted he sometimes felt relegated to a sidekick in TV roles and suggested similar dynamics may have contributed to the friction on Live, though he insisted he holds no bitterness and still respects Ripa's talent. The divide became another reminder of how polished on-screen chemistry can hide deeper personal fractures. A separate controversy erupted in 2019 when Ripa called The Bachelor disgusting and creepy on air, prompting star Colton Underwood, already famous for his dramatic fence jump, which earned the 2019 Pop Culture Moment of the Year, to publicly fire back, adding yet another name to the growing list of celebrities who've clashed with Ripa. Colton Underwood, whose unforgettable fence jump earned the 2019 MTV Movie and TV Award for Most Memeable Moment, couldn't resist firing back at Kelly Ripa's on-air claim that The Bachelor was disgusting and creepy. In a now-deleted tweet, he joked, "How mad is Kelly Ripa going to be when The Bachelor wins an Emmy this year? Thank you for your consideration." A sarcastic jab meant to defend the franchise that made him famous. Though he later downplayed the exchange to Us Weekly, saying it was all in good fun and noting that, since both he and Ripa were part of the ABC family, he wasn't about to take the criticism personally. The deleted tweet hinted he may have reconsidered the tone. Their tension wasn't new. Earlier in 2019, during an appearance on Live with Kelly and Ryan, Ripa openly questioned the authenticity of his televised quest for love, poking holes in the show's premise while Underwood tried to stay gracious. His tweet, even if intended jokingly, raised eyebrows. Why not soften it with a LOL or an emoji? Perhaps he was simply tired of Ripa's repeated jabs or didn't find her critiques playful at all. Meanwhile, Ripa's friendship trouble also extended beyond reality TV personalities. Once upon a time, she and Jessica Seinfeld were inseparable, the picture of celebrity best friends. In 2014, the two couples, Ripa and Mark Consuelos, Jessica and Jerry Seinfeld, vacationed together in Greece, their families blending effortlessly, and Ripa even celebrated Jessica's 43rd birthday with her. Jessica marked the moment on Instagram with a caption, "When God gives you another sister, just with a different last name," cementing the impression that their bond was more sisterhood than friendship. To many fans, Kelly Ripa and Jessica Seinfeld once looked destined to be lifelong best friends, but somewhere along the way their sister-like bond quietly unraveled. By the mid-2010s, observers noticed the sudden silence. No more social media tributes, vacations, or birthday celebrations, and neither woman ever publicly explained the shift. Jessica soon appeared more frequently with other celebrities, including Ripa's former co-host Michael Strahan, while Ripa was conspicuously absent. In 2017, blind gossip fueled speculation with a blind item about a feud between the wife of a famous comedian and a TV personality who had once been inseparable, claiming bluntly that they hate each other now, and warning that asking either woman about the friendship would result in them walking away. Though unnamed, the clues felt unmistakably familiar, leaving fans convinced the once unbreakable duo had fallen out. Whether caused by a private dispute, clashing personalities, or a gradual drift common in Hollywood circles, the friendship that once looked unshakable now appears firmly over. A reminder that even in the glamorous world of celebrity, some bonds simply don't survive. Meanwhile, Kelly Ripa's long-standing war with the Bachelor franchise added even more names to her list of critics. She has openly attacked the show for years, calling its premise disgusting, on Live in 2019 and telling viewers, "All of you women watch that gross, gross show," remarks that Bachelor Nation and its creators were quick to respond to. Kelly Ripa's fiery criticism of The Bachelor didn't go unnoticed in 2019, and Bachelor Nation quickly pushed back. Host Chris Harrison fired off a sarcastic tweet warning fans to look out, while creator Mike Fleisch escalated things with a sharper jab, telling Ripa to take it easy and insinuating that The Bachelor franchise pays her salary, since both shows air on ABC. His comments sparked immediate backlash, especially from Grey's Anatomy star Ellen Pompeo, who clapped back on Twitter, reminding Fleisch that his show didn't pay Ripa's salary and calling out the sexism in suggesting a man was responsible for a woman's success, then adding a pointed dig about the franchise's notorious lack of diversity. Pompeo's defense shut the feud down, while neither Harrison nor Fleisch ever publicly apologized. Ripa, unfazed, continued to voice her distaste for a show she sees as exploitative rather than romantic, and the blow-up ultimately underscored her influence within the ABC family. Meanwhile, Howard Stern, never one to mince words, regularly criticized Ripa over the years, especially for her handling of the Regis Philbin and Michael Strahan situations. When Ripa skipped several days of work after Strahan's sudden exit in 2016, Stern tore into her on-air, mocking her reaction and adding yet another voice to the roster of celebrities who haven't hesitated to call her out. Howard Stern's criticisms of Kelly Ripa have long fueled speculation about tension behind daytime television's polished facade. Stern first called her out after she missed an episode of Live, bluntly stating, "Kelly Ripa has a contract. You can't play hooky on your own show." To him, the optics were unprofessional, and he didn't hesitate to voice this opinion publicly. The following year, he escalated the commentary, telling Robin Quivers that "a day of our show is a week of Kelly Ripa's show," reinforcing his view that Ripa had it easier than many broadcasters. By 2019, Stern shifted his focus to her former co-host Regis Philbin, whose retirement in 2011 left lingering questions about whether the relationship had cooled. On Jimmy Kimmel Live, Stern openly wondered whether Regis had been pushed out or kept at arm's length by Ripa, suggesting that he deserved at least an annual return appearance to honor his legacy. He would have liked to be associated in some way with the show, Stern said, implying that Ripa may have played a role in his absence post-retirement. What made his remarks sting even more was the history they once shared. Ripa attended Stern's 2008 wedding, and her husband, Mark Consuelos, even officiated the ceremony. Their past closeness added a layer of personal betrayal, turning Stern's critiques into something sharper than ordinary media commentary. Fans have remained split. Some argue Stern simply voiced uncomfortable truths about Ripa's professional relationships, while others believe his comments crossed into needlessly cruel territory. Regardless, Stern's pointed remarks have kept speculation about Ripa's behind-the-scenes persona alive and well in the public conversation. A different kind of controversy unfolded in 2012 when actor Christopher Walken appeared on Live with Kelly and Michael to promote his film 7 Psychopaths. During a playful moment in the interview, Ripa casually joked that a gangster's kidnapped dog in the movie would surely be a dangerous, pit bull kind of dog. What seemed harmless in the moment sparked immediate backlash from pit bull advocates who objected to the stereotype. Actor Will Wheaton, a devoted pit bull owner, swiftly called her out on Twitter, writing, "I'm not a gangster. My dog is not dangerous." Kelly Ripa couldn't be more wrong. Minutes later, he urged her to research the breed and correct the impression she had given to millions of viewers. His tweets resonated quickly within the pitbull community. Kaylee Cuoco, another outspoken pitbull lover, joined the discussion, questioning whether Ripa had truly labeled all pitbulls as dangerous. Her initial tweet, though later deleted, intensified the public reaction and briefly framed the situation as the beginning of a celebrity feud. However, Cuoco soon clarified that she and Ripa were longtime friends and that her concerns stemmed from her deep affection for the pitbull community, not personal animosity. The controversy faded as quickly as it began, but it demonstrated how a single offhand comment can ignite widespread debate when amplified by passionate fan bases and social media. For Ripa, it became yet another example of how small moments on live television can evolve into larger cultural conversations. For Wheaton and Cuoco, the issue was less about Ripa as a person and more about combating harmful stereotypes about a breed they love. Moments like these reveal why public opinion around Kelly Ripa remains divided. Some see her as a beloved on-air personality occasionally caught in the crossfire of modern media, while others view these recurring controversies as